Saying I'm very passionate when it comes to ethanol and ethanol blender pumps here in South Dakota. I went around when I was working for the South Dakota Farmers Union, went around and put on forums across the state, I guess trying to educate and inform retailers, legislators, and also the public on the benefit of using ethanol in their cars and using higher blends of ethanol in their vehicles. I personally, I drive a 2001 Ford Taurus, and I use E30 in my vehicle. I know what we're trying to promote right now, or I guess with what we did with putting on those informational sessions across the state, we also kind of talked to the South Dakota Corn Utilization Council and the ethanol industry, and they formed an incentive program for ethanol blender pumps around the state. Right now they are giving $5,000 incentives to be able to put in blender pumps in the retailers' stores across the state. Also, they're helping with promotions and marketing with them too. So I think that's that was the first incentive system about ethanol blender pumps in any state in the nation. And hopefully I contribute a little bit to that when we're going around. But right now, one of the major issues dealing with higher blends of ethanol is that, we need to get it approved by the EPA, the emissions. Right now, last year, the state of Minnesota did studies on 40 regular vehicles using E20 and 40 regular vehicles using unleaded. And and they got done with that, and they found that the emissions of using E20 compared to unleaded was actually lower. They submitted that to the EPA, and the EPA right now is finishing their study dealing with that same issue. And if we can get the EPA to approve E20, they say it's very easy to get the E30 approved also, so we can start using higher blends of ethanol in our non-flex fuel vehicles. And that right now, like Hersa Sandlin was talking about, the blend wall. Right now, the blend wall is here in South Dakota, and we're very close to it nationally also. So we have to step up. If we're going to keep to our renewable standard that we set in 2007, we have to be using higher blends of ethanol in our vehicles. So, and this is the only way we can be able to do it, because right now the E85 pumps aren't everywhere, and we have to start using E15, E20, E30, in some cases E40, E50 in our vehicles, non-flex fuel and flex fuel vehicles. So I guess I can ramble on and on about ethanol and blender pumps, but I would love for any other questions dealing with ethanol and blender pumps, and I know a little bit about biodiesel also, but I just want to say thank you so much for having me here, and I'm open for any questions.